Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. Attempting to do a late night live show on a weekday. We'll see how this goes. It is August 1st. It is about 11:17 Central Time, my time. So it'd be 12:17 a.m. on the East Coast, and it'd be 9:17 p.m. on the Pacific. So training camp is kicking into another gear. They were off today. Tomorrow they resume. Earlier this week they had padded practices finally. If this is your first time watching this content, Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report, and you have not subscribed, I am like 83, 84 away from 500. When I hit 500 subscribers, I will have a Rookie of the Year card. Emmitt Smith rookie card giveaway. His Rookie of the Year card. It'll be raffle. When I hit 1,000, I'll have a Larry Allen autographed football. May he rest in peace. Raffle giveaway. This show soon will climb up into the ranks into the shows that y'all look forward to watching. Whether you like, Tom Downey with Chat Sports. If Law Nation is your type. If you like to watch Fish at 6. Mark Holmes, Rome, or all the above, or whatever. This show will be one that you look forward to watching. I guarantee you that red subscribe button that you see. It is free. It costs you nothing. I can't hit 500, my first milestone, without y'all. Click that button, guys. If you don't like my content in the future, you can unsubscribe. It costs you nothing again. And the like button, same thing. It helps the video pop up on feeds you usually wouldn't. Gets viewed more, more chances for subscribers. So, unlike Mike Fisher, I don't have a bell. But before I get into this fire, on the count of 3, guys, if y'all can subscribe in unison, 1, 2, 3, boom. Subscribe if you did it. You're a real one. I love you for it. If we can hit the thumbs up button on the count of 3, guys, in unison. If you're watching after it's uploaded, 1, 2, 3, boom. If you did it, you're a real one, and I love you for it. So the title of this live show is hashtag Cowboys Thursday Night Football Late Night Cowboys Talk. Padded practices in camp finally, studs and duds, and new acquisitions. Now, a big thing that people were looking at in the first 2 padded practices was number 60. All eyes on number 60. Because we know a blindside tackle, if he plays really good or really bad, it can change the complexion of the entire game. We go back to 2017, Chaz Green stepping in for Tyron Smith, allows 6 sacks to the same defensive end. I forget the guy's name. Tyler Guyton is 6'7", 330 pounds. And going up against Micah Parsons, he looked pretty good in a lot of those snaps in day 1. Day 2, Micah looked like the old Micah. But Guyton did get the best of him on a few of them. Before Tyler Guyton, we went 4 for 4 since 2011 on first-round linemen. And they've all become the best of their position. 2011, Ty Smith, he started at right tackle. In his second season, went to left tackle. At a point in time, he was the best left tackle in the league until Trent Williams eclipsed him. And then after that, he was still top 3. Travis Frederick, drafted in 2013. By 2014 through 16, he was the best center in the league. Those 3 years, better than Jason Kelsey, better than anybody else until he started getting sick later in 2017. And Zach Martin, drafted in 2014, right off the cuff, was amazing. And has been the best right guard in the league up until last year, and he's still a top 3. Tyler Smith, after this season, has a very good shot at probably being the best left guard in the NFL after this season, better than Quentin Nelson. So Tyler Guyton, we go 5 for 5 on first-round offensive linemen since 2011. All sources right now looking like, yeah. And the battle between BB and Hoffman, may the best man win. Whoever wins that battle in camp is the better center for this season. We want Connor Beebe to be the one, but the thought of having two rookies on the O line is a little concerning unless they play very, very well. In Connor Beebe's case, he'd be in between two All Pro guards, making his job a lot easier. He wouldn't have to, find, all the calls at the LOS because Dak has gotten so good at that. So he would have training wheels, in other words, and he'd be able to use that big ass end of his to move defensive tackles. The problem with Biotis for the last 4 seasons, 2020, 2021, 2020, and then before Biotis in 2019, Frederick came back, 100%. 2018, we had that one guy. So for the last 6 seasons, we haven't had a very good center. Last 4 seasons, we've had a guy really light in the rear end. Tyler Guyton looks like he's going to hold down that left tackle spot. And if he does, and Connor Beebe, he's never played center before, but if he gets that snap exchange down very good, man, this offensive line will be so young and powerful. Besides Zach Martin, the oldest guy will be Terrence Steele going into year 5. Other than that, Tyler Smith in year 3. 2 guys are rookies. And then Zach Martin into year 11. But first, want to hit on is we finally have real linebackers on this defense. And a lot of people commenting. Now, if this goes to 10 minutes and we don't have a real good crowd, we've had a few people jump in and out, but nobody really in to stay. It's kind of late to do a live show. Yeah, I might just wrap this up and do a regular video. It's kind of late to do a live show. All right, if CVK the Deep, what's going on, my man? If you can stay around for a minute and not leave, we get a couple more people in here, we can actually start having a show. I know it's late to try to do a live show when your show is still small and growing. They could be hit or miss. My last few have been pretty good. But people jump in and jump right back out. I don't understand that. Mr. Deep, I'm going to call you that. Between Tyler Guyton and Connor Beebe, which one do you think will have a very good rookie season, or do you think both of them will? After what you've seen so far in camp. He's all in. Well, CVK the Deep, I'm all in too, man. I've been all in since I saw us win Super Bowl 28, my first Cowboy game that I've witnessed. Witnessing Tyler Guyton, who people don't understand how big he is. 6'7", 330 is typical left tackle size. That's what you want from left tackle. Tyler Smith, big guy, but he's more built like a guard and will stay at left guard. For all intents and purposes, the offensive line has been rebuilt for years to come, because the day that Zach Martin retires, TJ Bass, if he continues to ascend, will be a pretty damn good right guard, especially if Cooper Beebe can be the center that we think he can be. And seeing us in pads for 2 days, now that we have real linebackers, Mike Zimmer is going to take this defense. And I thought last season, this defense, I was very sure last season this defense was going to be a single season, one of the greatest single season defenses of all time. And you got 2 tiers of that. You got the 2000 Ravens, 85 Bears. That's tier 1. No defense is ever going to match those 2 defenses. In my opinion, the 2000 Ravens were the best defense. But then you got the second tier of best single season defenses. And that's the 99 Bucks. Even though they didn't go to the Super Bowl, they were a game away. Held the greatest show on turf to 12 points. I have Tourette's, by the way. If there was someone put a message at self-review, I have Tourette's. That's why I twitch and cough or whatnot. I don't have a sound kind. You got the 02 Bucks, the Tampa 2 Bucks. You got the LOB and the no-fly zone. And you also have the 2001 2003, 2004 Patriot defense that never did get a nickname, but that that defense, that dynasty, was the reason why they won 3 to 4 years. Tom Brady was just game managing at that point in his career. This season, with Trayvon Diggs already off the pup list, Pickle, what you doing? What you doing, Pickle? Diggs already off the pup list. Now, when they asked him, how sure is he about his knee? How does he feel? As he said, he don't want to rush it. And I agree with that. Take his time. Maybe in preseason, have him play a series on the first game. The second game, maybe 2 series. And then the last preseason game, maybe have him play a quarter. So by week 1, he's ready to go. In the videos that we've seen, his knee looks really good. Cutting left and right, jumping up and down, doing whatever he has to do. Yeah, you must take his time. Exactly. Because I go back to what Cowboys fan talk Rome. I watch him sometimes. What he said a couple weeks ago is get Trayvon Diggs back is almost like trading for a top 3 corner. And it is. And I know this recent list came out of top 10 corners in the NFL. Diggs went on the list. It's completely stupid. I believe if he wouldn't have got hurt last season after week 2, by season's end, he would have been thought of as the best shutdown corner in the NFL. Better than Sauce Gardner, better than Jalen Ramsey, better than all those guys. This season, even if we don't bring back Gilmore, and I don't think we are, because 5th round pick Kalen Carson has been showing his ass in rookie mini camp and training camp, showing his ass what he can do on the outside. And he plays outside corner pretty damn good. So we're not going to re-sign Gilmore unless somebody goes down in camp. But with Diggs coming back and Bland opposite him, it's 2 all-pro corners. One in year 5, one in year 3. And you got Jordan Lewis in the slot. He's been playing slot corner since 2017, since he was drafted. And then you got Kalen Carson, the rookie, who's been playing lights out on the outside. So Kalen Carson, in essence, would be our Stephon Gilmore. If we didn't have him, we'd probably sign Gilly. I would still like to sign him because after Carson, Deshaun Wright, Eric Scott Jr., guys that haven't done nothing, won't do anything, and you're one injury away from being pretty thin at corner. So Gilmore wouldn't be a lot. I mean, he wouldn't be a vet minimum, but he wouldn't be a lot. I would definitely bring him on for one more season. If you watch the highlights of our second game against Philly at home when we beat them 33-13, watch how Stephon Gilmore played A.J. Brown that game. He was all over the place. I mean, he has a punch out when A.J. catches a slant. He has 3 huge open field tackles, 2 on the same drive on the 3rd and 4th down. He was all over the place. He basically took A.J. Brown out of the game. 33, he'll turn 34 during the season. Even at that age, Gilmore is what PFF last season had him ranked as a top 42 corner. It's pretty good. And for his price tag, why not? I know we brought on how you say Alaquadin Muhammad, defensive end. Since Sam Williams went down, we had some guys come in for a cup of coffee. Shea Tony, Justin Hollins, and Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson, who we all thought would be the shoo-in to be the defensive end that we would sign. But apparently in the workout, Mr. Muhammad beat him. But Carl Lawson on his X page has a Cowboy star, posting. So, hell, maybe they bring Lawson on too for a vet minimum deal. But if you're going to do that, bring on Linval Joseph. Bodies in the middle. That's really all this team is lacking. I mean, I wrote down the depth chart that we have. Offense and defense, our depth chart. It's good and it's deep on almost every position except defensive tackle. Run defense was our Achilles heel 21, 22, 23. Even 2020, but that was a messed up season. Under Dan Quinn, this team was great at getting takeaways. but it couldn't stop the run. All 3 seasons, we couldn't consistently stop the run. We didn't, Leighton Vander Esch was solid, but he was a Jacob Karakin. Welcome, my man. He was solid, but he always had that, that underlying neck issue that prevented him from being as good as he was in 2018, 2019. He had neck injuries all throughout his career. And last season, we got down to one linebacker after the San Fran game. Damone Clark was our only linebacker. And at the trade deadline, Shaq Leonard, no, that was after the trade deadline, he was released. We didn't even advocate that hard to bring Shaq Leonard on the team as linebacker number 2. Philly got him, and Shaq really didn't do much of anything, so it didn't really look bad. More bodies in the middle, I've been saying. The deep. Exactly, more bodies in the middle, even if they're not big names, fresh bodies that we can rotate in the middle, and big bodies at that too. Big bodies. I don't know what Mozzie Smith's weight is right now, but he was drafted to be a one tech. So they need to have they need to have him on a diet to where, you want your one tech defensive tackle to be like 350. Vita Vea for the Buccaneers holds down the middle of that defensive line because he's like 350, 360. Boy's got weight. Mozzie needs to get that kind of weight, and you add that to his strength, and he would be a great one tech. O.C. Digizua has a different skill set. Last season they wanted Mozzie to be the type of one tech to reach the quarterback. Me too. Jacob Crockett. Yeah, I agree. They wanted Mozzie to be the one tech to collapse the pocket and rush the passer. No. We want Mozzie to get very minimal stats on the stat sheet. We want him to be able to engage a center and guard at the same time. Take 2 guys to block him. So Eric Kendricks, DeMarvion Overshawn, or Damone Clark, whichever linebackers out there, can run free, sideline to sideline, and meet the ball carrier in the hole. That's exactly why we drafted Mozzie. As of right now, you got OC Mozzie, Carl Davis, and Chauncey Golston as 1, 2, 3, and 4 at defensive tackle. But other than that, middle linebacker, we got Eric Kendricks. He's only 30 years old, by the way. And 30 years old is old in the NFL. But it ain't like Eric Kendricks is 35. Eric Kendricks can still play ball at a high level. He was a perennial All-Pro in his career. He knows the defense like the back of his hand. And I kind of see why Mike Zimmer took Maurice Lawafu at pick 87 in the 3rd round. Whenever we was want running back, I could have sworn we were going to take a running back. We take the linebacker. Well, right now he's number 2 behind Eric Kendricks at middle linebacker. And I'm thinking Mike Zimmer is planning on being here to stay for at least 3-4 seasons. Because this kid out of Notre Dame, this linebacker, I believe he's going to be groomed to take over Eric Kendricks' spot and quarterback the defense in either 25 or 26. I'm pretty sure Eric will play another season here, 2 seasons, until the whole defense is on the same page. At weak side linebacker, we have DeMarvion Overshawn, healthy, was supposed to be the star of the draft last season. Strong side, Damone Clark, and then just the queen chess piece, Micah Parsons. They're going to use Micah more than just defensive end this season. It's funny because early last year, I think he might stay for 3. He's only 30. Eric Kendricks could stay for 3 seasons. If he could play ball at a top level, by all means, Eric stay. You know what I mean? But it's a beautiful, perfect mixture of youth and veteran leadership. Overshawn, year 2. Clark, year 3. And Kendricks, perennial All-Pro linebacker who can school these kids on how to play the position, just like Gilmore last year. If we didn't have Gilmore, and Diggs went down, Bland would have been playing on the outside with nobody to mentor him during, game time. Of course, Al Harris is going to lace him up in practice, and on the sideline. But Stephon Gilmore was able to school that cornerback room, DaRon Bland, mostly, being that he was playing opposite DaRon Bland. And that mix of youth and veteran leadership is a hell of a combination. And we have the perfect mix of that on the entire team, all three phases. So last season, after San Fran, we had Clark, only linebacker. Then we had Marquise Bell and, Jaron Kearse, safeties in the box. We have 4 legit linebackers right now, not including Micah Parsons, because you got Damian Wilson behind Damone Clark at strong side linebacker. Damian Wilson did play for us at one time. On first down, Micah Parsons should be at linebacker, not a defensive end. He's not a power defense. He's not a run-stopping defensive end. On first down, our defensive ends should be, right now on paper, Tank Lawrence and Marshawn Nealon. 2 stout big boys on the edge that can set the edge and stop the run. You do that, and then number 11 go anywhere he wants to. And Micah has that speed. I mean, I know he beat Trayvon Diggs in that race. I know Trayvon's coming off a torn ACL, but even with a healthy Trayvon Diggs, nobody on the defense cannot run Micah Parsons. He is the fastest guy on defense, and he's linebacker / defensive end. The kids bring the energy, and the old players bring the experience and knowledge. That's what makes a solid team. Exactly. That's why I would like to bring back Stephon Gilmore, because we have kids like Kalen Carson and Eric Scott. We traded up to get him in the 6th round last season. Hasn't shown much. I think Nashawn Wright is as good as Kelvin Joseph was. I don't think he has a shot. But I think Gilmore, not just for depth, but also to have that veteran leadership in the secondary. And then with Eric Kendricks, you got that veteran leadership in the second level at linebacker. And then with Tank Lawrence, you got that veteran leadership on the defensive line. Tank is 32 now, right? Drafted in 2014. Tank Lawrence is the longest tenured Cowboy, along with Zach Martin. Zach was picked 1st round 2014, and Tank was 2nd round 2014. So they're the 2 elder statesmen on this team. But, you want not just any veteran, not just, a Jag. You want somebody who has skins on the wall to be the veteran of said group. Gilmore, former Defensive Player of the Year. He's got plenty of skins on the wall to be the veteran of the secondary. And hell, who knows? Whenever corners get older and can't really play man-on-man the way they used to, sometimes they can make a move to free safety and excel there for another 3 or 4 years. For example, the 2000 Ravens. They had Kim Herring at strong safety, free safety. They had, what was that guy's name? He played corner for a long time at a high level. Damn it, man. Oh, I can't believe that name is eluding me. Anyway, he was free safety for Baltimore. Played great. New England. The 2 brothers that played in the secondary. One of them became free safety. It was pretty good for a long time. maybe bring in Gilmore and see how he plays at free safety, because he's a short-handed tackler and he's really good at zone coverage. So if he's better than Malik Hooker by a long shot at free safety, who knows? Bring him in. Try him out of the position. I would. Our Reddits, our defense is going to be solid. Osa and Mozzie going to stack the line. D-Law going to finish it up and run Micah, Kendricks, Clark, kill everything that moves, while Diggs, Bland, J. Lou, Carson, and Kearse No fly zone, baby. David C says tough background. I'm working with what I got, my man. It's my cell phone, myself, and my little backdrop that I made by hand on a cork board. Eventually, I'm at like 82, 83 subs away from 500. When I hit 500, I can monetize the channel. When I do that, I'll be able to get a desktop, filming graphics so I can show you instead of just saying it. Studio equipment, I will have a call-in line like Law Nation has. He's the one that inspired me to start my own deal. I don't know why every show doesn't have a call-in line. That's like the biggest thing on Law Nation's show. I'll have a call-in line also because my live shows will be having a lot more people in it. If y'all are watching right now, please hit that sub button. When they hit 500, we'll have a raffle for an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card. When they hit 1,000, we'll have a raffle for an autographed Larry Allen football. May his soul rest in peace. The best lineman ever played a game. But our edits. I was saying right before you jumped in that this defense, last year I thought it was going to be a single season great defense. We lost Diggs. Mozzie underwhelmed big time. It didn't happen. This season, with a new defensive coordinator, having Trayvon Diggs back and Mozzie in year 2, I think this team can be like the LOB or the no-fly zone or the 02 Bucks or the 03-04 Pats or the 99 Bucks. A lot of people forget about the 99 Bucks defense. Trying to start a podcast, they got recording equipment. You go to the open practice here in Frisco towards the end of August. Oh, yeah, right, because they go to Oxnard for the first majority of training camp, but then they do they do have some open practices in Frisco, right? If they do, damn sure I'll be there. Next season, I'll be going to Oxnard every training camp, and hopefully the channel will be able to pay for that with super chats and all that. Because when you get 500 subs, you can monetize it, you know. And yes, I mean I would love to be in Oxnard right now, but right now we're in the transition of moving and whatnot. Now, I had some points I was wanting to make. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, but I kind of go off on a tangent and start talking about other stuff that drives me nuts. But I think I said what I had to say there. Now, with our starting lineup as Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, I'm going to assume Connor Beebe, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele, Rico's going into his 5th season this year. His 5th year. 2020, he was a rookie. He had 7 carries, 24 yards, UDFA. In 2021, he was injured the entire season. 2022, injured the entire season. Last year, finally got to play some ball. He had 89 carries, 361 yards, average 4.1 yards a carry. That's not bad. As long as 21, had 2 tubs. He had 17 catches for $144. Longest was 32 yards and 2 tubs. And that was just like his breakout party. Rico Dowdle, going into his 5th season, if he stays healthy this year, his 40 time was a 4.54 in the combine. So he's not like a blazer. He's not as fast as TP was, but he ain't no he's not slow either. But he does have breakaway speed. He's got that, you know how some players can run a really fast 40. Some players don't run as fast as a 40, but during game time they can just run away from you. Dowdle has that kind of speed. In today's NFL, unless you have a Derrick Henry, or unless you have a Nick Chubb, or a 2016 to 2018 Zeke Elliott, you need a 1-2 combo. Like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt were really good for a long time. You know, Ingram and Kamara. 2022, Zeke and Tony Pollard were a top 3 running back combo until Terrence Steele got hurt. That really hurt the offensive line because When Steele is 100%, he's the best run blocking right tackle in the league. Remember 2022, we were running off that right side with impunity. Zach Martin and Terrence Steele opening the Red Sea for those two guys. And Elliott was averaging over 4.2 yards a carry till he tore his PCL. And then, he would soften up the defense, 2 yards in the cloud of dust. And then, TP would, break off a 60-yard run. That season, they ranked Tony Pollard the second most explosive player in the NFL behind Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Now that we got Zeke back, he's our banger. We get inside the red zone. He's our touchdown guy. He's got a nose for the end zone, always had. 2022, he had 12 tubs for us. You know what I mean? There was plenty of times last season we get inside the 5-yard line and stall out and settle for 3. With Elliott, that ain't going to happen. We're going to get into that end zone. But, he's that rock. He's going to soften up that defense. And Dowdle is going to show out. Now, I don't know if Zeke gets 1,000 yards this season. He probably get around 800-900. But Rico, I'm looking at Rico's floor at 1,100 and his ceiling around 1,450. I think Rico Dowdle is going to surprise everybody this season. And they're going to say, wow, is Rico really good, or is he a product of a young run-blocking offensive line? Because I think this offensive line, the way Guyton has looked so far, and I know it's only been a week in the training camp, a few padded practices. What about Deuce? Man, I don't know. I don't even know if Deuce makes the team. I mean, he has an inside shot, but I would love for Deuce to become the new Darren Sproles. I don't know if y'all remember Darren Sproles in the 2000s with the the Chargers, and then played for Philly, dangerous, small guy. He was 5'6". I believe Deuce is 5'5". And he was that jitterbug back, you know what I mean? And he would give defenses hell. I'll be back in a minute. But I just said, hey, I appreciate it. The deep, every sub counts. But yeah, I would love Deuce to be that RB3, or that change of pace, jitterbug, Darren Sproles type, Dave Meggett, Boston Scott type back. But that's yet to be seen, though. He hasn't shown us that. That one back that we picked up from the Rams last year, can't remember his name because I don't think he's going to make the team. He's a banger back just like Elliott, except he's never done nothing. And he's not young. Well, Cowboys, David, what about Dak and Trey? Apparently, they've submitted a contract to Dak's agent and CD's agent. Now, I know CD will get signed before week 1. CeeDee Lamb knows this offense pretty well now. Last season, they were learning the new West Coast offense. They had never done it before. They got really good at it. As you can see, CD had his best year. So Lamb can miss half a training camp, on this deal. I'm fine with that because that means he can't get hurt. Sign him halfway through training camp. Trey Lance is looking really bad in training camp, David C. Trey Lance is looking really, really bad. Matt Batten, how you doing, my man? Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for joining. Yeah, David C. As of right now, quarterback number 2 would be Cooper Rush. Trey Lance, he's just playing really, really poorly. And for a high pick as he was, there's a reason why San Fran traded him. Now, we were able to get a former first-round pick for a fourth-round pick at quarterback, so, of course, we went for that gamble. But right now, if it was between Lance or Rush, if Dak was hurt, you go on Cooper Rush every day of the week, twice on Sunday. That's just how it is. So, that was point number 3. Dak and Lamb received offers. Lamb will get his deal, and it'll be probably what Justin Jefferson got, or maybe a little bit more. Matt, I haven't been following training camp. ready for regular season football. I'm happy. Football be back soon. Yeah, man. Without football season, life just ain't the same. Even if World War III were to break out with this war with Israel and Gaza and all these other countries, seeing how divided our country is, even if World War III happened, as long as they don't interrupt football season, I can make it to World War III. How you feel about Sam Williams? Him getting hurt? David, I'm kind of torn about it because I don't know how good Sam is. Sam's rookie year, he had some bright spots. So when everybody last all season was saying who's going to be the breakout player on defense this year, it was unanimous Sam Williams. I even said it was Sam Williams. Little did we know it was going to be DeRon Bland. He had a rookie breakout season, and then DeRon Bland had a breakout sophomore season going down in the history books. So I'm glad now that our second round pick was Marshawn Elam. Very, very glad. We drafted Sam Williams to replace Randy Gregory because he's a bigger, faster version of Randy Gregory. But he's going to have to go through that process like Overshawn and Diggs have and show up next year ready to go because next season will be a contract year for him. It'll be his fourth and last, year on his deal. But so to soften the Sam Williams blow, we signed Al Qadim Muhammad. I have never heard of him until now. And I really thought they'd sign Carl Lawson, but apparently this kid outplayed him. In 2021, he had a pretty good season, like about 50 tackles, 6 sacks. So the kid has, kid can play good. Sam Williams needs to work. I like him. Wish him a fast recovery. Yeah, we won't see him until next year. So Sam Williams out of sight, out of mind right now. And then my number 4, the fourth thing I was going to get to is Diggs already off the PUP list, which is saying something if they got Diggs off the PUP list already. And I was saying, even, months ago, I was saying that Trayvon Diggs will be ready by week 1, probably at 100%. Everybody's built differently. Michael Gallup never recovered from his tear. Never recovered. That's why he just retired with the Raiders. And in 2022, he came back probably too soon. Wasn't very good at all. And last season, being 2 years removed from the torn knee, still didn't look right. He never recovered mentally. His knee's fine. Perfectly fine. And he had some good plays down the stretch at the end of last season. But he could never mentally recover. So that's why he signed with the Raiders and then retired. All right, I thought on the new kickoff change, I believe Terrapin is going to lead the league in return touchdowns. Look at my video I cut 1 or 2 videos ago because I had a big thing about that. And yes, Turpin. People are not talking about the new kickoff rule. The new kickoff rule is going to benefit teams like us immensely. If you don't know how it works, look at an XFL or a USFL kickoff. That's how it's going to be. Kicker is going to kick off from the 35, like usual. The kickoff team will be at our 40, lined up at our 40. Our kick return team will be lined up at the 30, 10 yards away from the kickoff team. And Turpin will be in between the 20 and the goal line. Now, the kicker's objective is to kick the ball in between the 20 and the goal line. I don't know new kickoff rules. Thanks for... Well, I haven't finished explaining it, Matt. Let me... There's like 4 or 5 different angles to this new kickoff deal. So, kickoff team's at the 40. We're at the 30. They're 10 yards apart. Kicker kicks from normal spot 35. Turpin's in between the 20 and the goal line. Kicker is supposed to kick it in between the 20 and the goal line. And nobody can move until the kick returner fields the kick. So Turpin fields it at the 5. Then the kickoff team can start to come on. And the kick return team, 10 yards away, can start to block. Now that's going to give Turpin a good 15 yards of getting into 4th gear before he even has to see the kickoff team. And with having the best special teams coach in the NFL, Matt, no, it's cool, dog, Matt. I was just saying that there's more to this, and I've already gotten to having the best special teams coach in the NFL. You best believe Bones Fossil is going to have some really good blocking schemes set up to where all Cavante has to do is make one or two guys miss. You know, now if the kicker kicks the ball shy of the 20-yard line, if the kicker, because what they're going to try to do is kick in between the 20 and the 15. That gives the kick returner less room to get a big start. So what teams are going to try to do is kick it in that area. But if the kicker kicks it shy of the 20 and lands at the 21, then the receiving team will start at the 40-yard line. That's just like illegal procedure, kicking the ball out of bounds. Same thing, basically. So the kicker kicks it at the 21 or the 20 and a half or the 20 and a ding-a-ling. If they don't reach the 20, the receiving team starts at the 40. Now, if the kicker kicks the ball into the end zone, if it lands in the end zone or if the kicker kicks the ball out of the end zone, then the receiving team will start at the 35. Last thing, if the kicker kicks the ball in between the 20 and the goal line, and it hits the ground and it rolls into the end zone, then the offense will start at the 20 like the old-fashioned touchbacks used to be. That's the new kickoff rule. I believe our starting field position this season will probably average at the 35 on kickoff returns. And if Turpin's going to be getting that ball at the 10 or 5-yard line, man, he's going to be, whoever said it earlier that he's going to have a few returns, I think, because he hasn't technically had a return kick for a touchdown in the regular season. I believe this season, and it was already. Yeah, I think he's going to have a few. And Cavante Turpin is like top 4 speed guy in the league behind the Cheetah, Waddle, and maybe one other guy. Other than that, he's up there. He's super dangerous as a returner, and he's getting better at wide receiver. And Brandon Cooks is still running that ball super fast. So that kick return rule is going to favor us big time because we have one of the few dangerous kick returners in the game, and we got one of the best special teams minds in the game. I mean, how many block kicks, punts, and field goals have we seen in the last 3 seasons? More than we've seen in the last 20 years. From 2021 to last season, those 3 years, we've had more blocked punts and kicks than we've seen from 2000 to 2020. For real, I mean, it's been unreal what Bones has been able to do. And now that we got Brandon Aubrey, Mr. Automatic, looks like Dan Bailey on steroids. I think Brandon Aubrey will be able to kick it inside that, probably around the 15 every kickoff. Damn, he's good, man. We find these undrafted free agents out of nowhere. And Will McClay is the king of that. How many starters do we have right now that were UDFAs and that can ball? Got it, okay. Put Turpin in good spot to get some good kick return touchdowns. Yeah, that or just good field position. If we start the ball at the 35-yard line, 40-yard line, all we got to do is get 25, 30 yards and we're already in field goal range. Brandon Aubrey can make a 65, 70-yarder indoors easily. We know he can. He's got the leg to do it. We have 44 minutes. Yeah, so Diggs off the PUP list. He should be ready by week 1. And then we signed up that that one defensive end. Anything really big to hit on? I mean, seeing Tyler Guyton do pretty well against Micah Parsons in pads was really nice to see. I don't know. I haven't been following Cowboys lately, honestly. Thanks for explaining it. Yeah, of course, Matt. That's what this is for. Now, I predicted this season, even though it's a tougher schedule, we have we got the Texans as our 17th game, AFC North, and the NFC South. Those are the divisions that we play. And I have us going 13-4. Last point I'm going to hit on, and I've hit on this on previous videos before. David Arditz, listen to what I'm about to say. CVK the Deep, listen to what I'm about to say. Matt, listen to what I'm about to say. Okay, so before the Green Bay debacle in the playoffs, right? Before we got whooped by Green Bay, number 2 seed, overlooking the number 7 seed, thinking we're going to waltz all over them and waltz into round 2 at home again. Before that game, we had won 16 in a row at the crib, right? 16 in a row. Last loss was week 1 of 2022 against Tampa. After that, we won the next 8, and then last season went all 8 at home, averaging 40 points a game at home. So this season, we have 9 home games, 8 away games. Last 3 seasons, we have had trouble. Actually, no, last 2019. Last 5 seasons, we've had trouble on the road, beating quality teams on the road, getting road wins. But finally, we've turned AT&T Stadium to a home field advantage. For years, it was like a neutral site. So this season, we have 9 home games, 8 away games. We open at Cleveland, a good team. Don't know who the quarterback's going to be. If Watson could be the starter, I don't know. We just know they have a really good defense. Amari Cooper's probably going to be looking for a revenge game, and it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be on the road against a playoff team. We have 9 home games, 8 away games. Week 1 is so important for this season that Fox 3:30. What day? On September 8th. If we go to Cleveland, Ohio, and we beat the Browns in Cleveland, week 1, so if 1-0, and that first win is on the road against a quality opponent, then the rest of the season, we have 9 home games, 7 away games, and of those 7 away games, 3 of them is at New York Giants, at Washington, at Carolina. So that makes it 4 tough away games the rest of the season and 9 home games. Got a tough schedule. Show that Browns-Ravens been hard. Yeah, AFC North plays tough, always has. Week 1 is super important. If we lose week 1, then it's going to be, man, Cowboys, they better get a high seed because they can't play on the road against a good team, da-da-da. And then you don't want to start 0-1 anyway. Even 2014, 2016, 2018, we were 0-1 and reached the divisional round every year. That year still, you don't want to start 0-1. In 2022, started 0-1, got to the second round. If we beat the Browns week 1, that makes the rest of the season 9 games at home, 7 on the road, and 3 of those 7 are the Giants, Washington, and Carolina. Basically 3 games on the road you could probably circle as wins. So it's like 4 away wins. If we can run the table at home, like we've been doing, you know, that's 13 wins right there. Now it's going to be tough to do that running the table at home because you got Baltimore at home, you got Detroit again at home, you got Houston at home, Philly at home. And this season, I'm not really worried about Philly that much. I'm very surprised they hired Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore has got his 3rd different team in as many years. There's a reason for that. I mean, with the Chargers, that offense, Herbert Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, all those guys. 5 wins. And now Philly is more of a running team, RPO type team. Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. They have Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore is a passing offensive coordinator. He likes to throw the ball. Did you watch him play at Boise State? I used to make bank off that kid when he played at Boise because he'd be putting up almost 60 a game because he'd be throwing for 500 yards a game every game. That's just how, he sees the field. That's why our offense was more balanced last season when McCarthy took over play calling and offense. Him and Shoddy. Matt Batten, I appreciate your hard work on this channel. Go Cowboys. Keep the good work, dude. Always, Matt. I'm glad you're a moderator. So if you jump on the live shows and you got people spamming, you can stop it. All right, Cowboys Nation, it is, what time is it? It's 12:08, so it's technically Friday, my time, 12:08, August 2nd. Guys, keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek Him and His righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. I'm a living testimony of that, even though I'm going through some kind of weird phase in life right now. Got 2 weeks to find another house. I know in God's will that will happen. And I had a good work day today. Cowboys Nation, especially. Later, have a good night, dude. See you, dude. You too, Matt. Especially, I think you go by the name of Dano or Cowboys 19734, something like that. Different names. You and me always have big debates in the chat after the video's posted. Get your popcorn ready because this season's gonna be a show. This season, we have as good a shot as any to reach February. We do. And I know you told me that you think San Fran, Detroit, Philly, the Rams, and Green Bay are all ahead of us in the NFC. And I told you the only team I believe is ahead of us right now is San Fran. They're kind of like what the Patriots were to the Colts for 4 years, kind of like what they've been to us. Detroit, I believe we're better than they are. We did beat them at home. I know it was by 1 point with a questionable flag. But Des called it, right? A win's a win. Philly has to show me something. Because the way they ended the season last year, 10-1, and then finished 11-7, had the number 1 seed at the Catbird seed, and you fall all the way down to 5. that was pretty bad. And I'm not sold as Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was good for us. I mean, was okay until he played San Fran, but he got ran out by Mike McCarthy, and then he got ran out by the Chargers. He didn't do very good with that Chargers offense. And he put up 17 against us week 6. I know they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back, but they don't have Kevin Byard anymore, who they got last season. Javon Hargrave has been gone. Fletcher Cox just retired. So Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter better be a hell of a 1-2. Jason Kelsey retired at center. He was rated number 1 at center for the last 5-6 years. Losing Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey for Philly is losing kind of the heart and soul of your offensive defensive line. Really is. Now Cam Jurgens is going to be center for the first time. He was drafted to replace Kelsey. He played guard last year. So the offensive line is kind of going to be shuffled up a little bit. They did get Saquon Barkley, yeah, but they had DeAndre Swift last year. And Barkley and Swift, there's not a huge gap. There is a gap, but it's not that damn big. When DeAndre Swift is healthy, he can ball. When Saquon Barkley's healthy, he can ball. But Saquon has had injury history just like Swift also. And we've seen it. We've seen it. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith can still ball out. Dallas Goedert, yes. It's going to really go down to Jalen Hurts, how he plays the game and how Kellen Moore calls the game. Battery power's at 15%. And then the Rams, yeah, they picked it up in the second half of last year. They made the playoffs. But we beat the Rams 43-20. The Rams aren't better than us. Green Bay whooped our ass at home, yes. Let us play him again. I know Matt LaFleur is a good head coach. Jordan Love just got paid. Let us play again. We won't overlook him this time. And I don't care what anybody says. We overlooked that team because 4 years ago they wouldn't have been a playoff team. We were the second seed overlooking that team, and I believe Dan Quinn was already looking at what head coaching job he was going to get. I do not believe he was fully vested into that playoff game. Because if you look at the playoff games before that, the year before, he holds that San Fran offense to 19 points. The game before holds that Tampa offense to, under 20. The playoff game the year before that holds San Fran to 23 points in that dynamic offense that they had then. So, yeah, I believe Dan Quinn, was in his mind, wasn't there that Sunday, and the entire team just imploded. Sometimes shit like that happens. That's why I get Mike Zimmer as brand new DC. Beautiful, I know it's a new defensive system that they're going to learn, and they will learn and be ready by week 1. Just like last season, offense had to learn a whole new offense. Started off kind of slow the first few weeks. Against the Giants, our points are coming from special teams and defense. Against the Jets, they had a good offensive game, but against Arizona, no. Against San Fran, no. Against the Chargers, not really. But after that Charger game, after that bye week, then the offense started to click, as Mike Zimmer's defense will. That's why you got Eric Kendricks to quarterback the defense. It's huge to have a middle linebacker that's going to have the microphone, that knows the defense, played it his entire career. This team, I'm not just being pro-Cowboy, not just riding a bandwagon. This team is going to be for real this season like it was the last 3. Only difference is they need to show up in January, just like the 06 Colts did. For the first 8 years of Peyton Manning's career, in January, the team didn't play as a team. In 2006, they did. 2 of those 4 postseason wins were defensive wins. Drew Brees, first 8 years. Great in regular season, couldn't do it in January. In 2009, the team came together as a collective team. 2 of those wins for the Saints in 2009 in the postseason were defensive wins. Green Bay in 2010, same thing. It wasn't just Aaron Rodgers throwing them to the Super Bowl. That team came together in January. That defense led by Charles Woodson was a big reason why Aaron Rodgers has a ring on his finger, and Mike McCarthy does too. We're going on an hour now. If you're watching this after it's uploaded, please hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 500. We'll have that right for the Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card. Please help me get to 500. I've got to get to like 3,000 watch hours. So please watch the entirety of the video. If you will, I ask you. Subscribe, guys. I will hit y'all this weekend. Y'all have a good Friday. And Charles in Charge is out, guys. Get y'all popcorn ready because it's going to be a show. I can tell you that right now. Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report is out. Deuce.